really every young guy needs to have character and needs to have direction. Like those are the biggest two things, and like you have that obviously character and direction. Like character, as in you know somewhat of who you are, what you stand for, what are your morals, and standing by it. And then two, direction. What's the general area of where do you want to go? Those are the two things, guys. Every guy has to have as a young man. You have to. If you don't have direction, then you're lost by definition. So that's why you see so many guys. They don't really know what they want to do after college. They don't know what to do. They're lost or drifting in life. That is obviously very bad because when you don't have character and direction, that's when you start to drift. That's when all the negative stuff comes in, the drugs, the influences, all the bad stuff comes in when you don't have any type of focus or any type of direction. Like that's so important. But then character is just as important. You need to have morals, a backbone of like what does Cameron think about this? And what does Cameron think is right and is going to do it? Like it is really like you have to really almost know yourself in a way and stand by it. You have to stand by. You have to like, at the end of the day, we're all going to die. That's the thing. I've seen death a lot. Everyone's going to die. Everyone. I'm going to die. You're going to die. Everyone's going to die.
You say that so casually.
I mean,
in the end, yeah,
like,
we're all going to die.
That's not a bad, if you're a Christian. I know you're a Christian now. I'll say that. You're a Christian. I'm a Christian. I'm dedicated Christ follower, Jesus King. So I know that's not the end. That's not the end. It's not. But it's important. And that's the big thing too. A lot of guys fake on whatever. Like when we die, that's when our real life begins. Like people don't understand that. What we do here determines how we spend eternity. Quite literally. That even if you go to heaven, people's experience of heaven is different. There are going to be classes. People are going to have certain gifts, and the Bible talks a lot about that. How giving to the poor, being kind, is going to give you certain crowns, certain trophies in heaven, and more rewards in heaven. So everyone's going to be different and have a different experience. So this life is so freaking so important because what we do here is going to determine how we'll spend eternity, how we'll spend the next life. And so many guys, no offense, like your brother, it's sad, but there's still hope. There's always still hope. I'm so serious. I've seen guys that were like that. Was that?
Yeah. I said
never. People don't lose hope. Keep praying. Don't lose hope. I'm telling you, like I've seen guys that same thing for years, and I think, oh, they're just cooked. I'm not gonna. I don't say that, but I think, okay, he's just cooked. He's not good. He's cooked. And then next thing you know, bam, he turns to Christ. He turns his life around. He's going. It's like, dang. And I'm thinking, like, dang, I would have never guessed. I'm not gonna lie. But so don't lose. Like I'm serious. Don't lose hope. That's the first thing. The second thing. The reason why this life's so important is because the reason why you need character, the reason why you need I'm big on you have to be selfish in some ways of your life because it's your life. This is your life. I've seen too many people die. It's your life. There you go. There really is a difference between being positively selfish and negatively selfish. There's two different things. Because if you look at any self-made entrepreneur, person that has it going, he is selfish to some extent, but his selfishness is through positivity, as in like what you said. I want to make money so that I can help others. That the Bible talks about this a ton, that when you really understand this whole thing about Jesus, about faith, Holy Spirit, all that good stuff, really understand like Jesus wants you to have the awesomest life here on earth. Like he paid the price so that we could be free. That's powerful. Like you understand, he paid the price so that we could live. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. He made the sacrifice. So we understand that. You understand that when you look at the Bible, when you look at David, Abraham, Solomon, like he blesses those that follow him, his children. Perfect example in the Bible. There's passages in Matthew and other spots where it talks about when you're praying and you ask God for something. Jesus talks about this. It's a perfect example. This is so perfect.
Wait, I think I know what you're talking about. I think I know what you're talking about.
So
go ahead.
When you ask your father, your dad, I'll just say for anyone, just their dad. If you ask your dad for bread, is he going to give you a stone? No. So Jesus says this. If you ask your earthly father for something, is he going to give you a snake? Is he going to give you a stone? Well, no. He's going to give you what you ask for. He's going to give you bread. He's going to help you. So then he said, so, Jesus himself said, so you being evil, since you know how to give good gifts, how much more can you even try to comprehend what your Father will do in heaven? That's powerful. Like, people don't understand. Like, God wants you. The whole point of being born again, faith, following Jesus Christ, the whole point of that is that it's a better, awesomer life. That's the right answer. That Jesus says, choose life, choose me.
Yeah.
Jesus said, he gives you the answer, says, choose me. It's better. It's better than sin. That's the whole point. When you ask God for stuff, he's not going to say, well, Cameron's broke. He doesn't have a car. This, that, this, is, or that. But you know what? I'm not going to help Cameron out. No, he loves you. What father on earth would punish a son that he loves, would punish him for trying to do good? He wouldn't. If the son is poor, he's going to give him money. And that's an earthly person. So when you think about a being that manifested himself in flesh to die on the cross, if you think about that and think of the sacrifice to love, that he loved you before you were born, before even in your sin that he knew you were going to make, he still loves you. To even comprehend that, to love your enemies, to comprehend that type of love. You can't tell me he wants you to be poor. You can't tell me he wants you to be weak. You can't tell me he wants you to be struggling. You can't. I don't believe it. That's literally not King David. Like, all the people that were after God's heart, that loved God, they were blessed. That's the thing in that the disciples of the New Testament church, they suffered so that we could live and have a better life. That's the whole point. That the reason how you know that money, that's a good question. How you know if it says, the Bible says you can't serve two masters. That's perfectly correct. You cannot. That's no. How do you know? That's the thing. This one I had for a question for a minute. How do I know you're serving money or God? It's very easy. The Bible talks about the root of all evil is what? You know this, I'm sure. What's the root of all evil?
Yeah, money.
It's money? Is it money?
I think it's in. Yeah, the root of all evil.
Wrong. Look it up after this podcast. Everyone thinks they're wrong. The root of all evil is the love of money. It's not money. It's not money. I just tell you that because they want you to come to church every day and sit in their pew and give all your money to them. That's not, no, it says the love of money. It doesn't say money. So you can love God and still have money because you know the more money I have, the more I can bless people, the more I can give, the more I can help. I can't help anybody if I'm broke down and poor and raggedy. So I hate when people talk about that. That's wrong. You can't, being a firefighter and all that stuff, you learn you have to help yourself first. I have to be physically fit, ready to go first to help this person. If I'm struggling, poor, don't know what to do, weak, how can I help you? How can I help anybody? How can I help God and push his glory? I can't. So no, that's a very dumb thing. As long as you don't love money, and an easy way to tell that is if you will literally do most anything for money. That's how you know you love money. If you gamble everything, if you literally will do anything to gain money, that's how you know you love money. Like a question people would ask in high school, oh bro, would you, I don't want to say it, but would you do some crazy explicit thing you don't want to do for $10 billion? A lot of guys say yes. That's love of money.
Yeah.
That I'm not going to just do anything for money. If someone, would you do this very simple sexual thing for money? No. Doesn't matter what the price is. No. Because my love is for him first, because he loved me before I loved him. That's why I love you. That's my reason of loving Jesus, because he loved me before I loved him. That's powerful. So no, I don't care what money you're gonna throw. I'm not gonna be like, oh, well, for $2 million, I'll kiss you. No, that's how you know you don't love money. That's the biggest thing, that you can only help people if you have something, and that God does not want you to be broke. He does not want you to be poor. The whole thing of the New Testament is talks about blessings you're gonna get, healings you're gonna get. It's all good stuff. God's not gonna give you bad stuff. That's a very big myth, and that heaven is going to be even better. That the Bible talks about that. Your experience in heaven, no man, I forget exactly how the verse goes. It's very good though. That no man can comprehend the things that God has in store for those who he loves. You can't. So it's supposed to be better with Christ. Your life will be better. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.